Today we are going to be practicing and reviewing our circle formulas a little bit. To do that, we need to make sure we remember some quick things about the parts and components of a circle. So when I look at my circle, if I have a line that goes from one side of the circle, passes through the center, and goes all the way to the other side of the circle, that would be called the diameter. If I have something that starts at the center, though, and goes just to one side, so it goes halfway across the circle, that would be called the radius. So a radius is half of the diameter, so two radiuses equal one diameter together. Going along with that, let's review what our formulas were then. So if I want to find the circumference of a circle, which is the distance around a circle, I would have to do pi, which I'm going to use 3.14, and then I'm going to say that times diameter. However, if I have a radius, I need to do 2 times the radius and then multiply that by pi. Finding area of a circle, I would need to use the radius of a circle. So I'd have to do radius times pi, or pi r squared. So let's practice with two quick examples. So my first one here, if I have a radius of 5 and I want to find the circumference, I need to think in my head, okay, 2 times the radius to find what the diameter would be. So 2 times 5 is 10. I do 10 times pi, and again, I'm going to use 3.14. That would equal 31.4. Now, when I'm looking at this on here, I'm only going to have inches for my units for the circumference. When I go to find area, though, I'm going to be multiplying radius times radius. So I'm going to do 5 times 5 times 3.14, and that would equal, and I use my calculator. Again, calculators are encouraged, recommended, almost required for today's lesson. 78.5 inches, but since I did inches times inches, because I did 5 inches times 5 inches, I need to do inches squared. So that's how I would find the area and circumference of that circle. So if I want to go over here to this circle and I want to find the circumference and area of this one, well, the circumference is going to be quick to find on here because I already have the diameter. So I'm just going to use the 12. Remember, circumference always uses diameter. So I just do 12 times 3.14, which is going to give me an answer of 37.68. If I needed to round that, and again, this would just be feet. If I needed to round that, I could just round that to say that I have 37.7 if it asks me to round to the nearest tenth. Okay, let's look at how I'd find the area. Now, I can't just say, oh, well, since it's radius times radius, I'm just going to use diameter. No, I can't just use the diameter here. I have to change the diameter into the radius of 6 and do 6 times 6. That's very different than 6 times 2. So I have to do 6 times 3.14 to do 36 times 3.14 on my calculator if I wanted to. From there, I get 113.04. Then again, I would say feet. And because this was feet times feet, I would say feet squared for my units. So that's how I would find the area and the circumference of circles with diameters and with radiuses.